Good afternoon. Is it still afternoon, almost evening? Which one is it?
We still in the afternoon.
Still in the afternoon. All right, all right. Today, well, welcome to Brown Skin. This is the clear and uncut conversations about us. Today, we're going to jump right on into it as we usually do, and we're going to talk about being black and being gay. And let's start off by, I want to make sure I get the letters right. LGBTQ?
Yes. There are more acronyms to it. They keep changing it, so even though I'm part of the community, I can't keep up. When I have a new name for it, they like to nickname it the Alphabet Mafia.
Okay. Right, because I'm sitting there like, let me get it right. I don't want
to be general, LGBTQ.
Okay. L lesbian.
Yes.
G gay.
Yes.
T trans.
Yes.
Q queer.
Queer. Yeah.
Now tell me about this queer, because when I was young and coming up, the queer was like not a nice word.
It's another one of them words, as black people have taken the N word back.
Change the narrative.
Use it. Yeah, so it's almost like an empowerment where they've taken back. It doesn't necessarily define what you are. It's just your. I'm trying to how I gotta put it politically, but like you're more comfortable with who you are. You are more gender fluid. You're just a queer individual. It's
okay.
A word that we've taken back.
Okay, because queer was like different, odd. Yeah. So when you and I like to use the word community.
Okay.
So tell me, let's jump right into this. When did you know you were gay? Were you born that way, or?
Absolutely. I knew as a young child. I knew I was different, very extremely young. I knew what I was attracted to. I mean, I tried to play the society roles and where I was supposed to be. It just wasn't me. To the point where I think my last girlfriend I had was in the 7th grade. It just wasn't for me. I knew what I liked, but I knew I couldn't be who I was. At the same time, I also wasn't really educated with what I was and who I was. I didn't know anyone like me. It wasn't a lot of stuff like that on TV about me. And the things that was on, like, I think Will and Grace was the one about that time. But, I couldn't watch that kind of stuff. So it was just like, I didn't know what I was. I just knew what I liked. And I knew what I liked was deemed wrong in my community.
Right. Look, I'm like, right. And that is interesting that you brought that up as far as deemed wrong in your community, especially in the church. We already know in the church it's like, woo! And that's supposed to be the no judgment zone.
Maybe that's where the judgment is at. If you want to get judged, go to church. Sad to say, but that's where it is.
Now, when you say you were born that way, or you knew you were different at a young age, how young were you? Give us clarity. Help us understand.
4.
Okay. 4.
I can remember back as 4.
I'm glad you brought that up. Now, there are those who say you don't remember certain things when you're young. You don't know at this particular age. How did you know?
I used to go to the YWCA.
Okay.
And for swim class and stuff. And it was just always this one, I guess in my mind, I thought he was cute. But it was this one little boy there at the YWCA that I used to always want to play with. I don't want to play with him, brother. I want to play with him. I didn't know what it was. Now that I'm older, I understand what it was. But then I didn't know what it was. I just want to go play with him. Like, I don't want to play with him. Nobody come play with us. I just want us to play.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I can't tell you the boy's name now, but I can remember being 4. And that's where I wanted to go. And that's just what it was.
Okay. Now, someone would look at age 4. A boy want to play with a boy. That's normal. Girls want to play with girls. That's the norm.
Mm-hmm.
But what was your thought at that time?
I mean, because when kids are young, they'll look at. They might not understand, but they learn words and how to use words until they're able to grow up and learn the context of the words. But they'll look at something and say, "Oh, she's cute," or "She's pretty." That's how I would look at people on the TV, or even like the person I was playing with. I would think, "Oh, he's cute." I wasn't necessarily saying that more towards women.
Okay.
In my mind, those thoughts were more towards the people, like the men I would see around town or on the TV and the magazine. anything like that.
Okay. I appreciate that. That's breaking it all the way down to elementary for me, because I'm like, help us understand. Now, the challenges and acceptance of being black and gay, I brought up the church, the no judgment zone, and being a Christian. How were you? Was there like oppositions when you came out, or were you just like quiet and like, talk to us?
Technically, the only person I've came out to say what I was my mother.
Awesome.
I mean, it was a situation, but nothing bad. But it was a situation where I was 17 years old, and it was 2 days before Christmas, I want to say. I was 17 years old, and it was just, regarding the circumstances, it was just a point I was just tired. I was tired of lying. I was just tired of pretending. And me and my mom, as you know, me and my mom's relationship is extremely close. So I didn't care about nobody else's opinion. I didn't care about anything about what I was doing in church. I was still actively singing in church and stuff like that.
Let me catch the people up. For those who don't know, I've known him. I've watched him. We worked together. We churched together. We did it all. So that's why I was like, let me call. I was like, I know who will be great for this platform and here to help others. Because that's what I'm always about encouragement, inspiring, and motivating others. And that's why I invited you on, not to condemn, not to judge you, because this right here with the whole Shop Talk with Mel platform, this is the no judgment zone. People, it's okay to be you. That's my motto.
I've always loved you for it.
Thank you so much.
Love from you.
Thank you so much. So you told her 2 days before Christmas. What did you say?
First of all, I was crying because number one, I was in trouble. Because you know what it was. And I was just like, Mom, this is where I was at and I'm gay. And then she was like, well, are you sure? It's like a phase. So, even though I kind of knew, but I was still maybe kind of in denial with myself. At the same time, I am still young. Mm-hmm. And this is 2006. So it's becoming a little more known, but it's still not what it is now. So we're just like, I think this is what it is. I said, wait, could it possibly be a phase? I don't know. But I just basically had to tell her this is what it was. So out of my mouth, I've only ever said that to my mother. My family is thebomb.com. So with them, I kind of just let it be known throughout conversation. But through family, and honestly, I can say everybody in church as well. I'm not one to broadcast my business.
Right.
It's one of the things what's understood don't need to be explained type things. But I can say the people that are in my life, that I cherish in my life, and that I surround myself with, they are very supporting. They are very loving. I have never received any backlash for who I am.
Did anybody ever come and say, we knew?
Yeah. A lot of people like, duh. Like,
look, we waiting on you.
Well, you know what? I take that back. Before I told my mom, I think I was in the 10th grade. So my best friend, her name is Taylor. She's the one that does all my parties and stuff.
Okay. You be having ball parties. Shout out to you, Taylor.
Yeah. Taylor DeBate, you better get with her. But I was in high school, and it was we went to the movies, and it was this girl we went to the movies with. We were close friends with in school, and her cousin came. And I thought this boy was absolutely gorgeous, to the point I couldn't even hold it in no more. So I had came to school like that next week, and I was like, "Listen, y'all, this is what it is." Girl, tell your cousin I said, "Hey," like
just flat out, right?
Just flat out. That's just what it was. But no, I honestly can say, like I said, out of my mouth, besides the two girls in school, but my mom, but anybody else, it's just always been understood type thing, and I've felt nothing but love from everybody.
That's awesome. I do want to I want to touch bases on the way that you dress.
Okay.
But before I do that, I want to give the stats because there is a big difference from the way it was. You said that was 2006. We're talking stats from 2010 to 2020 and the difference. And yeah, right? It was
a lot has changed in them 10 years.
It has 25%. 25% of male to male couples, only 25% actually voiced it. Now, we're at 59. That's married now, 59%. So,
And yeah, and I was telling my mom that too around the time, actually probably around the time of 2010-ish, and keep going. My mom, she was like, it just seemed like everybody is, or everyone's like a fad. I said, Mom, it's not a fad. I said, people are comfortable. I said, you would not understand, or you would probably mind blown the amount of people that you don't even know who are your age, who were trying to talk to me lowly when I was a kid, not a kid, but
the down low.
Older teenager, but the down low guys, because they can't be who they are. And you get a lot of women like, well, just be who you are, just be who you are. But when they're who they are, you play them for it.
Yeah.
So it's like you have the people who are like your generation and back. They have to live to a society and to a role they have to play, and they can't be who they are. So then when they cheat, they deem, it's wrong, but you're not leaving them a place to be who they are. And now the generation now is just, they're living for them, and I was telling, I wouldn't live so flamboyantly. That's just me. But people now, like the younger, it's just, they are who they are. It's acceptable, and they don't have to hide from anybody anymore, which is what I love. And I actually, because I'm kind of in the middle. I'm kind of where I'm not about to just put my business out, but at the same time, I don't care.
Okay.
So I'm kind of in the middle of the older generation, but kind of the new generation too. I'm like stuck right there.
Okay. The reason I brought up your attire, just seeing you can't tell. And see, now you have a lot. Well, back in the day, we had, you had like one person that you knew was gay, and they just was like whatever, and extra flamboyant and all the extras. And we all knew, it was like, oh, okay. But like with you, I didn't know, not that I needed to know. So I want to clear that up to the people that, the listening audience, along with the viewers. And also don't forget to like us. If you could click below and like the page, like, subscribe, and comment, and all that lovely stuff. To the listening audience, if you feel like you want to join in this conversation or have any questions, feel free to do so at 515-602-9667. Again, 515-602-9667. We are here for it. And for the viewers, comment, ask your questions. This is a new world. It's 2021. People are trying to be who they are. And I say trying to be, but it's us peopling that are preventing other people to not be who they are, but it's okay for us to be who we are. It's not okay.
Not at all.
It's not okay. Now, you, like I said, the way that you you dress like a male.
Mm.
And sharp, listen, sharp as a tack. I would have never known, because I'm the type of person, I really don't care who's sleeping with who.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So, like, when I see people, I see who they are in front of me and who they represent and who are you presenting, and it's a saying that I learned a long time ago from my mama, from Kevin. They always say, how you dress is how you be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
And with,
my mama would get me. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, boom, this is what I'm doing. My personal life shouldn't be your business.
Absolutely.
Even right now. Even right now. So I respect you for that, because even like as heterosexuals being out hugging and kissing, you remember, because you're young, but I know you remember this, when heterosexuals is out kissing somebody, yell out the window, get a room.
Absolutely.
So it's the same.
You don't need to see that.
Right. Right. It's like, come on. So with that being said, mad ups to you. Big ups to you. You know what I mean? And you're right. You don't put your business out there. It's like, if you know, you know. Now I do. Right. Now I have a question for you. How do you, like, say if you want to come out, does gay know gay? Like, is there, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
or
we can talk it. We can talk.
Okay, because my gaydar off. My gaydar be off.
I don't know what it is. It's almost like maybe if you go into a room and it's just that one person you bond with, or when you keep walking past somebody, it's just something about that person. It's something we pick up. But we can pick up on each other. Especially if one finds another one attractive. There's certain things that gives it away. Especially when you're in a room when you're just not sure, and it's not necessarily a gay event or anything like that. Mm-hmm. You get the looks. You keep looking at me one too many times. if you keep trying to put yourself in front of me. There's certain things.
So it's the same thing that we do. Like we see somebody fly, we walk past a million times.
It's the same. Everything is literally the same. It's just the preference is different, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like people ask me all the time, like, "Well, how do you know?" Like, "Well, how could you? Well, could you be my way? You can't see myself my way, and I can't see myself your way. So what is the difference?"
Okay.
Literally, that's all it is.
Because I'm like, how do you know? Like,
it's the same. It's the exact same way. You got to make. It's almost like a peacock. You be presenting yourself and flaunting around.
I like it.
It's a matter of whose eye do you catch.
There you. Okay.
That's literally all it is.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't know if we're going to get to this part later in the day.
No, go ahead.
I always tell my female friends, you need to have at least one gay friend or a best friend. If they watch, they're going to probably laugh. Because, because they not necessarily want to catch the guys. A lot of us older ones, I'm almost part of the older.
Yeah, you there, you're teetering.
But we kind of live by a code. Like, you don't tell nobody's business.
Uh-huh.
Especially the guys who want to remain DL, you don't tell nobody's business. And sometimes we won't say what we know. We may say, well, I don't know. But they don't know what that means. Yeah, it could be referred to another female. You want to leave that one alone. It could be another female. It could be something I don't know. But I told one of my good friends that there's always a way you can find out if you're suspicious. Because Facebook is wonderful for finding out things. Mutual friends.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Mutual friends, like you, especially if you know somebody.
To go on their page and then count the mutual friends. If it's more than 5 and you know that they may have maybe like went to school together, nothing like that, they just random guys. Yeah, something up, sis. Something up. Always check the mutual friends. Facebook will tell it all.
Okay. Listen, Facebook do tell it all because you have people on there that be telling it all, but then you might have the down low brother. I'm going to say the down low brother. I'm not going to say the straight person, okay? The down low brother that will deny it. And I just don't see an adult male making up anything about another adult male. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
Because even
it doesn't happen like that, no.
Like Cordell Stewart, that used to play for the Steelers. He ended up talking and saying it was a big rumor, where he ended up getting caught. I guess somebody was performing an act on him, and it was like a whole big thing in the media about him. But I'm like, here's somebody, and it's all alleged, and he said it was a rumor, so I'm going to go with what he said. But he was saying it was rumors, and it could have affected his life. But what if it wasn't a rumor? What if it is the truth, and he can't just say, hey...
In order to maintain his status, he has to play into what the public eye wants him to be. And it's very unfair.
It is.
Extremely unfair that people cannot live their true selves.
It's like being in character, being on stage and stepping off and never being able to come out of the character.
Nope.
That,
especially with a celebrity, because you're always being watched, which leads to a lot of depression, there's a lot of suicide. People cannot be who they are. And
they can't even.
And it leads to disappointment, which is louder. The suicide rate is so high.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't checked the stats now, so I don't know if now that people are more comfortable with the suicide rate, and especially the younger generation has gone down, with the rate of being out going up. That I'm not too sure about. But that's a lot of reason why it's a disappointment. If anything, especially with boys, we hate to disappoint our moms. Forget anybody else, it's the mom.
Is it? Okay.
Absolutely. Little boys we hate to disappoint our moms. Dad, we can get over it, anybody else, but to disappoint a mom breaks our heart. So,
might be something to that. Mama's boy, daddy's girl. The girls hate to disappoint their dads.
And when I was studying early psychology, I found out that actually your first attraction is to your parent.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you see. That's what you look up to. Little girls love their dads. If you ever notice, most girls end up marrying someone who's kind of remotely like their dad. Whether it be looks, whether it be characteristics, something in that man reverts to their father if they it's in their life, something like that.
Right.
And the same thing with the male. There is a thing that dad thinks girl, mama's boy. We hate to disappoint our moms. It's like one of the worst things that can ever happen. So we're being quiet and just shutting it out. It's to protect the family. pertaining to image, whoever you may be in a community or your job, something like that. And it is a huge disturbance to be a human being, period.
So how was it? So you hate to disappoint your mom. I got that part. Now tell me, how was it to tell your dad?
I didn't tell my dad. It was another one of them things where I slowly, brought it around to the point where it kind of clicked. But my daddy loved the heck out of me. He, whenever I'm around, he like to parade me out. Yeah, this is my son, this is my son, this is my son. My daddy don't care.
That's amazing. That's amazing to have supportive parents.
But I do. Both of my parents are wonderful.
That is awesome. And being Black and being gay and having to suppress your feelings, when you brought up depression, because that is something that usually take place with that. And actually, it doesn't even have to just be that, just in the Black community. And we know, we were having a discussion prior to the show where say something that a Black parent will say to their child if they came to them and said they was depressed.
Depress your A&M, do them dishes.
Absolutely. Like, listen, mine was if you don't take your depressed self up in that room,
Yeah.
So it's...
We don't deal with it. The Black community does not deal with mental health. They think they're supposed to pray. Yeah, you can pray, but you need some help right now.
Right.
I don't have time to wait for prayer. I need help right now.
Right. Okay. We could pray. We pray for somebody to come and help you. Like.
Yeah. No, I need help. Right. I need actual physical help right now. And I feel we fail ourselves in that. But like the newer generation, things are going to change. They're not falling for that anymore. Like I don't want to use the term woke, but they're more free thinkers. They're more logical. They're like, no, I see what this did to you. No,
free.
I'm going to get my own help.
Free thinkers, they're out there, they free. I love every minute of it, especially like if you look at it now, like we marched, we prayed, and you can look at the old movies, the old civil rights movie. We pray, we praise God, we worship, thank you. We got these little people out here that's like what?
Exactly. But if you think about it, a lot it's led by the younger generation. Even the Black movement now, Black Lives Movement, a lot of it is led by the younger generation. Even back then, that was led by the younger generation.
The older ones, we like, listen, I am not mad at them. I'm like, go ahead at the house like this. Go ahead. And see, when we were coming up, it's you want to be better than your parents. Your parents wanted you to be better. So we were into like, let's go into the school. Let's do this. We know about what happened. Let's make sure this doesn't happen again. You know what I mean? If you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it. That's where we were. And then after, you guys come and then the younger ones, they like fight to power. I mean, for real, fight to power. Not just EPMD, Public Enemy. They like for real fight to power. Now what? And I am not mad at them.
Like, we are not our ancestors.
Oh!
And a lot of people took that disrespectfully, but that's not what they were saying. They're like, we're not about to just be quiet anymore.
God bless me.
No. And we're going to fight by any means necessary.
Right.
What makes it, they all about matching energy. What you give, we on top of it. How about that?
I like that. Yeah, they're matching the energy. Because, and I didn't take that as disrespectful. We are not our ancestors. But guess what? They're trying to have you like your ancestors and keep you browbeating you and like, okay, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. And like you and your community just come like, this is who I am, accept me. Now in school, you had your group of misfits. I was always cool. I was cool with everybody, the misfits, the whole nine. Because Now, when you had and see back then, the misfits was the people that was smoking, the golf, the whole nine, because we weren't like smoking. We was like, oh, you smoke cigarettes? Like, oh my gosh, but it was a few. I was cool with everybody, even before the whole, they had the whole shooting and all the quiet person, nobody want to talk to. I always was the person that would sit down and I would talk to everybody.
That's me.
And they're like, okay, that's a different community. But you have to reach out and talk to people. And everyone is not outspoken.
Not at all.
Everyone's not, outspoken. You have those. I was in drama clubs, so me and the different organizations that I was in, Panda, SAD, I was in everything. So I was able to mingle and meet with everyone and realize that everyone is different. There's no cookie cutter, a cookie cutter for everybody. You want all the students to be one way. No, let's all get together. Let's all get together. Let's collaborate.
everybody's different. Everybody has their own unique way of life, and you are going to miss out by not interacting. They may teach you something.
Absolutely.
They may have what you need.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, boom, let's bring it on in. Come in. Let's collaborate. You tell me this is easy. Oh, that's easier. I should have been doing that a long time ago. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to be open to everything as long as it's not harming you.
Exactly.
And and I just have to put it out here, if you're concerned with the judgment, you need to remove yourself.
There's a big thing we have in our community where it's like one of the gifts about being part of the LGBTQ community is we get to pick our family.
Okay.
A lot of the youth are disowned from their own. So now you get to go and form your own family. And that's what instead of it being a sad thing, it's kind of things we celebrate and we've also taken back. Your birth family may not have wanted you, but now you get to go create this wonderful life of acceptance and people who love you and on purpose surround yourself with people who are like-minded with you and know your struggle and things like that. So it has its, of course you're going to be sad because you're not accepted by the people you were born into.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it gets to a point where you don't need them. If this will cost you your happiness, family or not, you don't need them.
Y'all heard them. Hey, if you want in, 515-602-9667, 515-602-9667. And come on and let's shop talk on brown skin. I'm like, let's shop talk on brown skin. Now, I do have another question for you. Now, you said that you could tell, even if it's not a gay event, that, who you kind of meet eyes, lock eyes, or get in contact with somebody, you just look and be like, I find that person attractive or whatever. Is there like a gay community? Like, you just go like, oh, well, I'm going to go. How do I come out? That's the question. How do I come out and get accepted into the community? Where's the community? Like, where's the community hangout? Not... You don't have to, not specifically, but is there like
a safe place?
Yes. Where's the safe place?
Honestly, to speak for Youngstown, there isn't one.
Okay.
Your safe place would be people who you are comfortable with. Your safe place would be your house, your friend's house. And then you'll meet through mutual friends more, people to know who to be safe around. But to say there's like a center you can go to, or
like we used to have Joshua's. Remember?
For Youngstown, there isn't one.
Is there places in like Cleveland, Columbus?
Columbus has. I with COVID, I moved here at the beginning of COVID, kind of. So I haven't discovered a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
But the little bit that I've seen, there's a lot. There's a lot of places, and the safe place you can go. That's not necessarily a bar. Really back home, all we have is the club or the bar to go to.
Okay, what about...
To be with like-minded people like yourself.
Okay, what about, like, social media? Are there, like, groups out there?
There's pages. Yes, there's different outreach pages. There are different kind of community pages you can join, different forums and stuff like that, like almost like the Columbus business page. There are different pages for specific cities so people can get to know each other. If anything, social media-wise has picked up a lot with that, especially with COVID and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, because Youngstown is so small, with me traveling like I used to, I see how we are accepted in the world, and it's not deemed bad anywhere else. But Youngstown is so small, and we're so used to what we're used to. If you just go outside of our little bitty town, your mind would be blown.
Absolutely.
Just get out of our town. I mean, I love Youngstown. I'll rep Youngstown to the day I die. But we have a lot of room to do.
So do you think it's because the smaller communities, they know each other? And that's what...
And especially when you want to hide, you don't know who to talk to because everybody knows everybody.
Okay, and everybody... Okay. Now,
Yes.
Living in California... It's a whole new world. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you like Cleveland, like everywhere. It's just get out.
Listen, Columbus is a whole new world.
It is.
It is. And I didn't think, I was one of the person I never wanted to move here. But now that I'm here, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it here.
I'm up there often. Look, I'm up there often because my daughter's in Dayton. Like my daughter's in Dayton, so we driving. You know, she was in school. I have to do the pop up. You know how that is. Like, let me see what's happening. Okay, what's really going on? I do want you to actually give. What advice would you give to someone who's afraid of coming out?
I'm actually, I don't know, I want to say mentoring. I guess you can say that in a way. I'm a young man now. And every once in a while, you know, I'll pop up and you doing all right? Everything okay? You have any questions? Stuff like that. But the thing is, no matter how young or how old you are, it's in your timing. You cannot let the pressure of somebody else make you come out. It's almost like a rite of passage, or it's like a sacred time. And to have it stolen from you when you're outed, that's one of the most hurtful things. Like I said, I wasn't outed, but I know people who were. And it's almost like you stole that from me. It's almost like being raped and they're taking your virginity. It's when you're ready. It's when you are ready, no matter how old or how young you are. It's just a matter of when you are comfortable and when you are ready, and just surround yourself with people who absolutely love you for you and not what you like and what your preference is.
Doesn't it seem odd? Like, it's still, like, to me, and like I said, I'm on the outside looking in, it just seems really, really odd that people really care who's sleeping with who.
Like, am I asking you who rented out your house? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Care. I do not care. You not sleeping with them. You ain't sleeping with me. Why do you care? Am I asking you?
That's what's so crazy.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
That's the part that I can't get. I don't look at people and be like, oh, who they sleeping with. Like, I look at how they are, and I look at how they made me feel when they left me. And if I'm cool and I was happy, you all right with me. You know what I mean? It is so weird. That's why I was like, dude, and it makes me wonder, like, do people really be wanting to know who I'm sleeping with? You know, like,
I do not get it. It's just, why do you care? Why do you care what's going on in my life that has? I'm not hurting myself and I'm not hurting you. What do you care for? I don't get it. That's one of the things I just with anything. What do you care for?
I guess that's the meeting of the minds, because I can't. I'm like, we're the same on that one. I'm like, who gives a Mary? I want to go back, rewind a little bit when you said that your mother asked, was it a phase? Because at that young age, that would be a question for me. You know, with the younger generation coming out, is it a phase? Because right now, let's be clear, you know, with this going on and everybody out and being who they are and feeling comfortable enough to come out, I remember back with sleepovers. No boys could spend a night over your house. Only your friends, your girls could spend a night over your house. So now it's like, okay, ain't no sleepovers. Because you don't know who, you know what I mean? You don't want any parts of that. I will say, I was upset one time. I'll share this with you. My daughter her friends had wanted to go out. This young man said that his cousin was over his house. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, y'all going to the movies, no biggie. You know, I'm going to take her friend. And I knew that he was gay because he made it known. But he said it was his cousin. And I'm sitting there, and I am that mother that sit outside the theater and wait for the movie to be over, you know. So you know how young they were. Yeah. And I looked in the rearview mirror, and I remember seeing the picture of this guy he liked. And it, like, flashed in my head. I said, that is not his cousin. That is his boyfriend. Now, I felt some kind of way. And the reason I felt some kind of way, it doesn't matter if he was gay or not. Mm-hmm. I'm not taking you on a date without your parents knowing. Right. And that's how I felt. I felt like, okay, you lied to me. She ended up being on punishment because you let them use me. You know what I mean? And does his mother even know? So I felt like, I'm sure she could see, you know, some of his flamboyance, but not know, and thinking that's just his friend. And does she know? She didn't come downstairs at all. I actually had to go up to tell her, okay, I'm here to take him, you know, to the movies, blah, blah, blah. Right. She said, okay. But does she even know? I don't want to be that parent to be sitting there driving and, you know, on these little dates. Yes. Like you allowed this to happen.
Yeah, I can understand where you come from as a parent, But as a child at that age, they weren't out yet. They weren't out. They wanted to spend time.
14 years old.
They wanted to spend time, and that was the only way to do it.
Okay.
And it's a matter of, especially when you're young, and it's horrible when you're that young and you're not out. You have to, we used to sneak. How the girls used to sneak to be with their little boyfriends. It's literally the same way, but you have to do it a different kind of way. It's just a matter of you sneaking because you don't know who know. He don't know. I mean, question he may be comfortable with you, but he might not be. He don't know how you feel about it. So for you to be okay, in order for him to spend time with who he wanted to be with, yeah, that's my cousin.
I was okay, and I was okay with that. Okay, they all going to the movies, no biggie. I was okay, because I wouldn't have been okay even if it was a little girl and a little boy. I'm not taking y'all on no date. Your mother can take y'all on a date. You know what I mean? Right. I'm just that person. And I was just sitting there and I'm waiting, and then all of a sudden I looked in that rearview mirror because I could see him, and that face came. And then I said, I was furious because I'm like, don't put me in that situation. And I don't know how your parents feel, but I don't want to be taking you out on no dates, period, at that age. You know what I mean? Because even if it was a girl and a boy, your parents might not allow you to date. And now you up here with me and talking about something. Oh, yeah, Mel took me on.
Mel ain't take you nowhere.
Right. Mel took you and your cousin. That is it. But it just seems like it's being gay has been out for a long, long time. We like The Odd Couple. I don't know if you remember The Odd Couple. Do you remember that show?
I know the name. I can't.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. It was, and it was just like, okay, they were just roommates, no biggie. And so now it's like, oh, okay, they're together. It just drives me up a wall. But I want to move forward to children.
Okay.
Gay couples adopting children. What's your thoughts on that?
I absolutely love it. There's too many kids in the foster system.
Okay.
And you can get them out. There's a lot of gay couples who want children. But I don't know about a lot of the states, but most of the states. I know a lot of states have laws where I know a gay couple can't adopt. And it's just like, you have these children in the foster system who want families, and then you have gay couples who want them and they want children, but now you won't give them to a loving home because of who they love. So who are you disturbing? Mainly you're hurting these kids. And then they grow up, and a lot of kids who be shuffled around in foster homes. I mean, you want to be reality. All foster homes aren't great, and shout out to the ones that are awesome. But placing them in a loving home, you could have saved a whole life. You don't know who these people could have become when they got into a nice, nurturing family. I'm absolutely 100% for it. I have a friend now who lives in Orlando. Him and his husband adopted a son last year, and they're waiting on their second.
Okay.
They should be coming in a couple of weeks.
Okay. So what's your thoughts on the people that feel like, okay, well, if gay couples, and we're talking 2 moms and 2 dads, this is not just the men that I'm speaking of right now. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on, well, they won't know what role to play, and maybe they'll end up gay, because that's one thing too, that's out there.
The same thing with this
one
TV.
myth.
I've watched TV since I was a kid, and I'm still gay, and it wasn't nobody gay on TV back then. It ain't about what you see; it's about what you like.
Okay.
You see something all day. I don't like chitlins. I see that mess around the holiday.
That's a good analogy. What you saying? You ain't saying nothing. You just like, okay, I ain't gonna touch it.
It makes my blood boil because I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not a matter of who, like, people like, because even though I'm close with my dad wasn't always around. Like, my mom and my dad separated when I was a kid. So people are like, oh, you didn't have a male figure? No, I mean, my mom was married. My stepdad, he was a nice guy. I had him around the house. My aunts and uncles, they were in loving relationships. I've been around heterosexual couples that were in awesome relationships. That's not what I like. So a man being constantly present in my life, trying to show me how to be a man, as they quote unquote say, that has absolutely nothing to do with a male presence. So for 2 men to be in the house or 2 women to be in the house, all they're going to see is 2 people loving each other, and that's their parents. But that kid is going to grow up to like what they like.
Okay. I respect that. Thank you. Look, thanks for clearing that part up. Now, with this down low thing that's still out there, and it's so sad, we know back in, and I did the statistics on 2010, just a 10-year difference to 2020. In 2010, I mean, you'd be shocked with 73%. 73% took the survey, and are considered down low, and I'm using air quotes for the listening audience, down low men that's keeping, they have wives over here and
a couple girlfriends too.
Yeah, listen, they got to keep them so that she can look at them, because we already know if you sitting there, you married to me, and I see her, I'm focused on her, not him, not Mike. You know what I mean? And I just use that name loosely.
Yeah. They got to show face. Yeah.
Where 2020, guess it didn't even decrease much. It was it's like 69% that took the survey versus 73.
You know the age group?
Yeah, the age group is older, so we're talking 30 to 50.
That's why. That is why. Because I'm in the 30 age group now. So, like I said, with me, I'm in that in-between stage where I know the old way but can appreciate the new way. So pretty much my age and backwards, they feel like they still need to hide because of society, especially in our community. I mean, black people, we're our own worst enemy in a lot of things.
Now, here's what's different. The statistics on white gay men is 82.4%. And then for the black men, 6.3. 6.3. And I'm just like, oh my, and that's in 2020 where you have the ones that's coming out. But as far as like overall, because they had, I want to say back in 2012, and don't quote me on this because I read this long time ago. It was 1 million. It was, they looked at 1 million gay men that came out. 1 million. Yeah, 1 million that they surveyed. And then they said that only the ones that said that they were born like that was 500,000. So 500,000 that said they were born. And the other, when you speak on, are you experimenting? You got to look at a lot of people, and I want to get that. I don't know if it's a myth, but a lot of people say, okay, this was our answer back in the day. If they're gay, they were molested.
That's it.
Do you find that to be true with even some of your friends?
No. I mean, I know I have some friends who were molested. That had nothing to play with anything. Nothing. I mean, I hate to put it this way, but if you think about it, a lot of females are molested by males. They don't turn out to be lesbians.
They turn out to be hoes. Lord forgive me. Some of them promiscuous, and they use that as excuses, and not all of them.
A lot of gay men are promiscuous too, girl.
What? I didn't just put it out like, see, I look at that as just greed. Like when I see
a promiscuous gay man will outho any woman.
I heard
that. I'm just letting you know right now.
So y'all be having the same things, looking like, oh my gosh, who are they with? Here's the like with the bisexual. I forgot. Wait, LGBTQ. I think I forgot the bisexual. When people tell me they're bisexual, I don't look at them like, I look at them as greedy. You just like sex. You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm bi. Okay, you like to have a good time. You just like sex. And it's mighty funny that women are able to be accepted. It seems like they're more accepted.
They're fetished and fantasized for two women. But for two men, it's just absolutely gross. And that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, for two women to be together is a fantasy or a fetish. Even some straight girls, if they like to go to strip clubs and stuff for the enjoyment, but they like to appreciate another female body. So when you get two of them together, oh, this is it.
Listen,
but you can't do that.
When I go to the strip club, I go for the outfits.
Listen, I went to one time on accident. I didn't know where I was at. I was in Miami.
Okay.
I can't think of the name of the club, but we was at a rooftop bar.
Mm-hmm.
And we went with this restaurant. It was a really, really nice restaurant. And the girl, our waitress, she, enjoyed us. So she gave us vouchers to get into the club at the bottom. So we were like, oh, yeah, we gonna go. So we went in there, crowded club. And I see these girls dancing in these little cages. They had like little bikini, and they just dancers. And then I see these little skinny girls like these old men. So now I'm starting to pay attention. And I'm like, what is happening? So I look at the far back of the club. And I see the girls, but they ain't have on nothing. I was like, oh, friends, I think we in a strip club here. But it was a good time. I mean, we stayed, but the vibe it wasn't no sleazy. It was like a kind of an upscale one.
Uh-huh.
I mean, still said it was a good time. But I always said, strippers don't do it for me. If I'm going to eat, if anything, in a corner somewhere, I don't like to spend my. I don't like gambling. Well, I'm gonna give my money to you for.
We just say you don't like gambling, like
No, take me to the bar.
Okay, we just say I'm not just giving free money away for you to do what. And that's what I go for. I go for the outfits. I am not lying to you. Even when I go, like a few of my friends, they're like, "Oh, we get ready to go here." Her friend dance, and we just went. I'm not into that. And then for the men, listen, I seen some guy. He was stripping, but yeah, I end up talking to him afterwards, right? and wait a minute. So my friend's like, what in the world are you talking to him about? Because I asked him, he telling me his dreams and what he planned on being. They was like, Mel, for real? This, like, that's the stripper you talking about. Something. What you want to do with your life? Yeah. But I told him because what got me was he had on some Nike socks. Right. See? Okay. So when I seen the Nike socks, I immediately thought of my child. And I'm like, whose son is this? I'm not interested in seeing somebody's son with these little Nike socks. So I'm talking to him. I said, so what are you? I found out this child worked at the Original Cookie. You remember the Original Cookie?
Yes.
He worked at the Original Cookie, and it was a reverse diamond off the Players Club.
Child.
we were at Cleveland. And I'm like, the Original Cookie, this baby, wait a minute, so he talking about something, he was in college, but he wanted to make some extra money. It was straight up like the reverse of diamond off a Players Club. And they were laughing, they was like, he fly. They was like, he had a little hat, he was ready. I said, you lost me with the socks, I gotta tell you. So I go for...
Like white, wasn't it? Were they the white ones?
It was mixed, but he was a black guy. Matter of fact, I can't even think of
the white socks. Was it the white Nike?
No, the black ones. So and then you know the lights. So you got black Nike socks, so the neon lights, and you saw the lit.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like
lavender socks.
Right. And wait, and see, and right. And I don't drink. So while I'm watching them, I'm drinking all the chasers, right? I thought they got the pineapple juice and cranberry juice for me. So by the time they finished, they was like, "Hey, you drunk all the chasers and you talking to him?" Listen, you know we was some old hags. Because on our table, we had a vegetable tray. Now, I said, well, who watching strippers eating broccoli? It was all wrong. I done asked him. I said, you want a carrot, honey? Like, it was so funny, but I'm looking like, I'm like, here you go. But I had to share that stripper story with you. What would you say what would you say to parents that don't know and can't get a grip? Because let's be real, we know that they probably won't accept it because they're worried about what their friends might say.
That's your child. That's
okay.
Your child.
Okay.
That's your friend's child. That ain't your sister's child. That ain't your mother's child. That's your child. And your child is looking for you for an acceptance and protection.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing is acceptance, protection, and love. That's literally all they want. They're not looking for no grand gesture. It's just, especially when they're a kid, if they're coming to you and it's something that's on their heart, and at the end of the day, they want, number one, love, acceptance, and protection. That's literally all they're looking for. Okay.
So what would you tell them, if their child were to come out to them, what would you say? What would be some words of encouragement or advice that you would give to a parent, especially being 30? So, you could kind of...
A parent, listen, number one, listen to your child. Listen to your child, accept what they say, and then and pay attention, because some of them, it is a phase. I mean, they don't know, but you need to work with them as they work with themselves. Support them in any way they may need support. I'm not saying you deem down and be your child's, friend to you lower, like standards of parenthood, but it's almost like, I don't know how to explain it. You just basically need to be there for that child. Because number one, that's scary for a kid. It's a very scary place to be in.
Okay.
Be there for the child. Listen to the child, and a lot of it is just listening. Because a lot of times when you come to a parent and tell them, they're gonna be like, okay, and they're gonna go back and brag to their parent. Well, I told my mom and she was cool. Like that's like a bragging right.
Okay.
And they take pride in that. Like when you can come to your parent and, okay, or I already know, or then and honestly, I find a lot of times when a parent becomes accepting, the relationship changes for a stronger relationship.
Okay.
I have witnessed that a lot.
Okay, now that's usually it's usually opposite for some young teens, because once the parent, like, you were like, oh, this is my boyfriend, I love him, I love him, I love him, and then the parent like, mm-mm. And then when she finally like him, you be like, we broke up. That's usually how it happens, and you be like,
Right.
well, wait a minute, what happened? So with that, you said it's a bragging right to say, okay, my mom accepts me for me.
Mm-hmm.
When did you feel comfortable enough to bring your partner around the family?
So number one, I got to be dealing with her for a while to see if even worthy to be bringing around.
Okay.
Number one, and honestly, that's a lot of ways that I kind of outed myself to my family. Because like I said, I never said anything. So we're just this is my little friend right now. So we have a little barbecue. You want to stop by the barbecue?
Okay.
We're gonna chill around the barbecue. You ain't gotta stay long.
Okay.
And then, you might leave. I wouldn't bring like no holidays, depending on how long you've been knowing this individual. Holidays a little more into the house and you're stuck, especially if you live in the north. But barbecue can kind of get away. But
it's outside. You're right about that one. Them holidays, you be like, I'm stuck in the corner looking around like, oh gosh, yes. Especially the cold ones.
Especially for me, like, you have to learn the dynamics of your family. Bring them around. They don't got to stay long. Just a couple hours. This mine, whoever you want to introduce them as. If you want to just come out here, this is who you dating. Fine. Be like me. This is my friend.
Right.
And when I keep on you, after a while, there's friend. Oh, that kind of friend. So it's just bring them around gradually if you're not comfortable and sure. And baby steps. A lot of it is baby steps. Even when you do decide to come out, you can't just lay it all on somebody. Baby steps. Baby steps go a long way. You're
right about that. Laying something on somebody.
Yeah.
But like, wait, hold on.
Okay, this is what it is, and then bam. Well, wait a minute. Like.
Now, how do you feel about, and I'm going to say down low brothers marrying somebody and know that they like men? And that's why they're down low, because they up there to marry somebody. Why? Because that happens more often than not. They'll marry someone, and then the wife finds out that he's gay, and then she's like, "Oh, he's gay." What's your thoughts to that guy? What would you say to that guy?
If you like men and you are marrying this woman just to say you're married to a woman and you know dang on well you're gonna be with a man, don't get married. That's a huge disturbance to her in her heart. Do not get married. You can be a quote unquote player all you want to.
Okay.
But married.
Excuse me.
If that's who if you know that's who you are and you're not comfortable coming out to being who your true self, it is a huge disservice to that woman to marry her.
Okay, so just stay single.
Stay single.
I like that. That's great advice because it happens.
That sounds like a man who like to cheat. You like to cheat, but you're going to marry this girl because she's been with you for so long. But when you marry, you're still going to be cheating on her.
See, that's the might as well ring. That's the might as well. Don't nobody want the might as well. Like, I've been around and you've been with this person.
Literally what it, but a lot of men only, because they want families. They do want families and stuff like that. But it's pressure within the community, pressure within the church if they're in the church and stuff like that. Oh, you can't shack up with nobody. Honey, I don't care if I'm straight or not. I ain't about to marry nobody I can't live with. No, absolutely not. I need to test the water.
Right.
I ain't about to marry nobody and I don't know what you can do for me sexually. Absolutely not.
Now, there you go. This
ain't the old way. Because if I'm marrying you not pleasing me, then I'm going to cheat on you. So then there's no for me to be married.
Yeah, then I got to commit adultery.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Now, being raised in the church, and we know, I don't have the stats on that, and it was hard to find too. Being married in the church, in the black church, because this is what we talking about, brown skin. In the black church, it was always said, unspoken, usually, that the organist is usually gay. Yeah, the choir director. Daddy, the choir director. You look at it, and
a lot of people within the church, our church, Black Community Church, and in and out of the church, especially the church, being gay is okay as long as you can use us. It's okay if you can use, but then once my lifestyle becomes a hindrance to your social life, now it's an issue. But it's okay as long as you can use me. Yeah, I can come direct your choir when you're all kind of competitions. Yeah, I can come play Heaven and the House Down. Yeah, I can come over here and do your wife's hair. But that's all I'm good for. A lot of people, especially in the black community, gay people is only good as long as they're a service to them.
Man, I love you for your honesty.
Huge.
So,
okay, you can be gay, but not over here. You can be gay, but not. So I can be.
But
gay
you can be gay in private.
Right? No, that's not about to happen. I'm too grown.
Okay. Now I'm gonna ask you. What about and I just want to know your opinion. What about looking half man, half woman? And the reason I say that, like a full mustache with lipstick, and like, what's your thoughts on that look? Even though I'm just asking you, just for the sake of conversation, clear and uncut.
Me personally, that's not my style.
Okay.
Me personally, I don't understand it. And so because I don't understand it, that's not my preference. I'm not about to knock the next person that do it. That's just not me.
Because
it's a matter of personal style. So if that's what you like to do, and if it makes you happy, you ain't hurting nobody, and you looking fly, and your self-esteem is up there, baby, do you.
Okay. Oh, okay, so that's where I get confused with the T, the trans. So, like, you don't want to have the whole surgery. Okay.
Some do.
Like you half and half. Help me.
A lot of people who stay that way, where they get the female parts but keep their male parts, is they're fetished after.
Okay.
A lot of men like that.
Oh.
I don't want to say a lot of men. I don't want to make it this big, huge number. But there are some men who do, like, it tricks their mind. Because it's almost like at the top you're a woman, but at the bottom you're a man. It's almost like how for trans men. Like, to look at a trans man, they would look like a whole. I don't know if you saw them couple of videos I've been posting with the trans man. They look like whole dudes. They look more manly than I do. I can't even grow a beard. Their beard's bigger than mine. And
right.
They look like a man until you get down below, and then it's almost like it tricks your mind. Like, well, wait a minute.
So wouldn't that be like? I'm so confused. Okay, Chris, what's his name? Jenner, Caitlyn. So I'm just using Caitlyn as an example. So you got Caitlyn, who is dressed up like a woman, but still has the male parts, won't have surgery, and still attracted to women. So why not just be a guy that like to dress up?
Honey, that's another thing. Honestly, I don't understand.
You don't understand that either? Okay.
I leave it alone, because that ain't my business. That ain't my business, and I can't tell you what I like, and I'm not going to tell you what, vice versa. Like,
so I'm trying to understand.
Honestly, for me, that's a mystery for me too, because I'd be just confused as you are. But I say, if you like it, I love it. I guess it's up to preference.
And it definitely is, and
everybody has a preference.
That's why I'm so confused. And I used Caitlyn as an example, because you you dress up like a lady, but you still want to go out with ladies. So would you be a lesbian? But you're not. You don't. I'm just so like trying to understand it.
Yeah, that's another doozy for me, because I sometimes I be still looking like, well, okay. At the same time, I say, it ain't none of my business, and I just keep moving. I think a lot of people mind their business. This world would be a lot better place with a lot of things. Just mind your damn business.
Yeah, we can mind. Yeah, mind your business, but I got to mind it. I won't have a job.
Right.
I got to mind it. Listen, is there any last words that you want to say to the people?
Be you. Be 100% your authentic self, unapologetically you. If it's making you happy and you are not a harm to yourself and nobody else, be you. And to anybody else who may not be part of the LGBT community, if someone is comfortable enough to approach you to tell them how they are, keep their confidence.
Okay.
Keep that confidentiality, because they're trusting you. and then you about to go and spread their business, that's not the thing to do. That's more harm than good.
I would look at that as a compliment.
It is, and then people take that and abuse it.
Oh man, yeah, that's bad.
Take that and abuse it, and it leads to suicide rates.
That's where I was getting ready to go, where it's like, okay, I'm not accepted in this community, so which way do I go? And it's a lot of people that are different, and in the LGBTQ community, they're accepting. So I did have that question, like, did you become, not you per se, but for people who are in the community, did you become gay because you were accepted because you were different? And over here, you didn't fit into this group.
Sometimes that does happen. It's just they go where they're accepted. And then they grow to be in that lifestyle, no matter what it may be. When I wasn't accepted over here, I wasn't accepted over there. Well, these people seem to dig me. Maybe I'll try it. And then it's almost like a learned behavior. Almost like a kid growing up eating vegetables. I don't like vegetables. Keep giving them to me long enough, I'm going to grow to like something about them.
I like that. And on that note, I'm going to give you lovely people today's footnote. Be who you want to be, not who they want you to be. All right, you are listening to Brown Skin, and that's the conclusion of today's show, Being Black and Being Gay. Every Monday, 4 p.m., we got it for you. These are our uncut and clear conversations about being brown skin. Thank you so much, Marcel, for your truth and coming on the show. I truly, you was nervous. I truly appreciate you. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, all the lovely stuff below. If you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so. Information is down below. Like me on all socials, and on your favorite podcast, you can find Brown Skin, The Impact, with your girl, Mel, from Shop Talk with Mel. Thank you